Welcome to your election command center. The bulletin is also live on DSTV channel 279. We are streaming across the world on Facebook, where you can join us with your thoughts and comments. We begin with our very own, your most authoritative news and current affairs station, TV3 and its affiliate branch 3FM and 3News.com will this morning launch its election coverage for the 2024 general election. Your election command center is set to unveil an array of programs and content aimed at keeping electors informed and educated about happenings leading up to December 7, when the country goes to the polls, top elect a president and 275 members of parliament. TV3, 3FM and 3News.com have over the years delivered comprehensive election coverage when reporters in all constituencies and polling centers bring you up to speed with all happenings relating to the election. The launch starts on New Day after the news this morning, so do make sure you're tuning. And for you who will not be able to watch at home, it is going to be streaming across all our social media platforms. So do make sure you're tuning to watch to get to know some of the ideas and the initiatives we are bringing on board as far as this election is concerned. And this is your election command center, the only station where you can get to watch and also get to know exactly what will be happening as far as this election is concerned. But away from that, hundreds of NPP sympathizers in the Echiwa-Nwabieja South of the Ashanti region have expressed support for NPP's running mate Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. Addressing a rally in a charged atmosphere, he asserted a reset means the NDC under the Mahama administration will cancel free senior high school and the restoration of the nursing and teacher training allowance and other initiatives introduced by the NPP.
The running mate added the Ashanti region and especially Echiwa-Nwabieja did not see any major development under the NDC. He said the NDC MPs were asked to vote against the mining lease which aimed to mine bauxite at Nyinehini, and that is a clear indication that the NDC is against development. He introduced the NPP's parliamentary candidates for Echiwa-Nwabieja South, Sheila Che, and asked the people to vote for her. The parliamentary candidates for Echiwa-Nwabieja South, Sheila Che, rallied supporters. Nana Kwame Akoto, the chief of inquiry in the Echiwa-Nwabieja Council, the running mate and the party.
The flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress is urging the Electoral Commission to take immediate steps to correct the alleged illegal transfer of voters without the express instructions, but the EC is fighting off the claim, urging the public to disregard it. A report by my colleague Kamla Kluche.
It's exactly 100 days to election 2024. Preparations by the Electoral Commission has been activated, with the latest being the exhibition of the voter roll. Despite a low turnout, concerns have emerged.
Recently, the Electoral Commission opened the register for people to go and inspect their names. I'm sorry to say there's a lot wrong with that register. The EC has to sit up so that we don't have any confusion on election day. The EC is an important institution in us having peaceful elections in this country. So if the EC commissioners are listening to me, you better wake up. You're not doing your job properly. A lot of people cannot find their names. Other people's names have been transferred without their knowledge.
The Electoral Commission is clapping back. In a post on its social media handle, the Electoral Commission says the claims that there are irregularities are untrue and should be disregarded. Despite the positions, John Mahama has upped his campaign in the Greater Accra region, promising them of massive development.
Adena CD Akodru 16 or say digital. Adena Enyoma Boaheading or say digital. Adena Yakwaya say digital. Yeah, the digital beba be say kwano. Yeah, the digital be share afuno na aduane aba.
The second day of the phase 2 of the campaign took him to the Amasaman, Obu, Obo, Domiabra, and Nyansoutum constituencies.
The Nabi Somu Yakwano Fi Hanum, Enko Pimu, Kutu say. No, 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 na Ghana fu hu se wa ye adwuma but obeda da Ghana fu wo hwe papi mu e friend sen kutu se eko nsawama wa kabia he de eni so
ni asema mahama obekan waka sem correct pa waka sem correct because exercise a try san here there and some baby but for the NPP there and there better Obama ebio election 7 December do and die you do anyhow you see anyhow you are not going to lie. This NPP they are corrupt, very very corrupt, they are not serious.
From La Kluchep, TV3 News, Amasaman.
Away from your election command center, farmers are still unable to access to their farms following the spillage of the Bagre Dam. Worst affected farms are the ones close to the White Volta. The water is gradually getting to the Bolgatanga-Tamale Highway due to the high water level.
The spillage from the two dams in Burkina Faso through the White Volta in Portugal has made farmlands inaccessible to farmers whose farms are not far from the White Volta. Our news team, just like the farmers, could not get near the farms but managed to take some shots from a distance. The water is gradually getting to the Bolgatanga-Tamale Highway due to the high water level. Jerry Asameni is the Upper East Regional Director of NADMO.
What NADMO simply did was to get into gear, trying to sensitize the communities along the Bagre Dam. What we have done is locating the high grounds where if there are problems, disaster strikes, then people can get to such areas to be able to stay warm or be taken care of. What we can do right now is that we have had relief items, mats, mattresses ready. We'll do well to advise them, and if that fails, if depending on the disaster, I think minimum force will be used to be able to save lives.
The current water level at the White Volta is 9.80 meters, and there is a daily spillage from the two dams in Burkina Faso, which will adversely increase the water levels in the White and Black Voltas in Ghana.
Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has asked Parliament to allow government spend 500 million cedis from the contingency fund. This is part of the emergency response measures to address the imminent food insecurity expected due to the dry spell experienced across the 8 regions of Ghana.
At least 8 regions are said to have been affected by the drought, which is expected to limit food supply across the country. Minister for Food and Agriculture, Brandon Champo, says at least 8 billion cedis is needed to prevent food shortage.
Calculate the fertilizer that you need, okay, which is about about 2,100, and then you multiply by the number of acres. Okay, we estimated about $268 million that is required to buy inputs. If you put that together, $268 million is more than 3 billion. So the actual amount required is way more than 8 billion. And the reason is this: we cannot fully compensate the farmers for all their investment loss.
Government is pushing for more funds. Finance Minister Mohamed Amin Adam has written to Parliament's Finance Committee asking to be allowed to spend 500 million cedis from Ghana's contingency funds. The minister explains government cannot fund the needed 8 billion cedis from simply realigning the current budget. The contingency fund is a specialized account meant to be utilized once the Finance Committee of Parliament is satisfied there is an urgent or unforeseen need for expenditure, which no other provision exists. The Finance Minister says at least 900,000 farmers have been affected by the drought, with government engaging development partners to obtain the required funds to prevent food crisis.
The Fishery Commissions and its allied organizations have created a framework to save fish certification and licensing scheme to regulate and ensure hygienic fish processing in the country. Under the scheme, fish consumers will be able to identify fish processors who have undergone laid-down hygienic processes.
The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, in partnership with the Fisheries Commission, the Ghana Standards Authority, as well as the Environmental Health and Sanitation Department of the local government, in 2023 announced a Safe Fish certification and licensing scheme under the theme Safe Fish, Better Health. Under the program, fish processors adopted a code of conduct to meet health and hygiene standards that reduces contaminants.
Ensuring safe fish production and consumption is not just a goal, it's the responsible thing to do for present and future generations. However, the path from sea to plate is fraught with challenges, ranging from unsustainable fishing practices to inadequate processing facilities and hygiene standards. It's time we address these challenges head on and pave the way for a safe and more sustainable future.
The National Safe Fish Certification and Licensing Scheme Symposium brought together key stakeholders, including policymakers, to discuss and address the critical issues surrounding fish safety and sustainability in the country.
Some studies were conducted, and it was observed that there were alarming levels of microbial as well as chemical contaminants on fish that is sold on the markets in Ghana here.
Fish processors who operate outside the National Safe Fish Certification and Licensing Scheme are to be prosecuted.
We have the primary or the parent law, the Public Health Act 851, 2012. Food and Drug Authority also has the law to deal with unwholesome food in general. And then when you also read the Criminal Offences Act, 29, 1961, Section 286 is talking about unwholesome food.
Chief Director at the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Maria Nkpakpa, is optimistic that this certification will foster access to higher value-added markets in Ghana and facilitate fish exports from Ghana to markets overseas.
In support of this, the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development is also incorporating fish processing centers and cold room facilities in fishing harbors and landing sites that are being constructed in order to reduce post-harvest losses and to ensure safe and hygienic handling of fish.
The symposium focused on the scheme's implementation, successes, challenges and strategies for ensuring the safety of fish and fish products in our country.
Let's focus on health now. The implementation of the free dialysis session for a category of renal patients have led to over 300% increment in monthly sessions at the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital. This, according to management, means the hospital will need more than 20 additional dialysis machines to meet the growing demand.
Although the second largest hospital in the country, CATH, has in recent times upgraded its dialysis machines from 2 to 7, the overwhelming demand requires for additional ones. Professor Otradai Mensah is the Chief Executive Officer of the hospital.
The need for more dialysis machines has become dire, and it is so because of a very good policy that has been rolled out by the government. People within a certain age bracket enjoying free sessions and so on. So a number of dialysis sessions that we have traditionally been doing is 80 per month. As we speak, it's increased to 300 dialysis sessions per month. And what it means is that there's an obvious toll on the very few dialysis machines we have. I have been in talks with the Minister of Health, Dr. Okoboy, and he has indicated that he's trying his very best to retool Komfanoche, and I would want to believe that these dialysis machines will be a part of the retooling process.
Notwithstanding this challenge, management, as part of its internal retooling process, has invested in the upgrading of the 5 main theaters of the hospital. Work on the $10 million Hill Komfanoche project, aimed at giving the hospital a major facelift, is also taking shape. All mechanical, electrical and plumbing works on the A3, A4 and A5 wards have been done, leaving the tiling of the floors and fixing of windows.
Once this project is completed, there will not be any need for a special ward. Special wards in this hospital will exist only to the extent that they represent particular specialties like cardiology. So it's a cardiology special ward or rheumatology special ward. But in terms of ambience, what we want to do away with is one area looking more ambient than the other. And I have told you this in the past, that the time to recovery reduces as the ambience, the environment within which the patient is being seen, improves.
Patients are expected to occupy the block by the end of September this year. Speaking at the hospital's media performance review, Professor Adai Mensah reassured management's resolve to enhance the delivery of high-quality inpatient services at the hospital.
Kidney disease patients at CAF and at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital are waiting on you, the Minister of Health, Dr. Koboy, to heed to their promise by providing the dialysis machines to ensure that they are able to go through their sessions each week. Let's still stay in health, but in the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, because another breakdown of the elevators at the surgical block of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital has forced the facilities management to announce a suspension of elective surgeries until further notice. The management is confident that repair works on the elevator will be completed within a week.
As a major referral center in the country, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital is notable for receiving a significant number of emergency referral cases and other medical conditions that require further treatment. The facility performs over 100 surgeries a day, which necessitates the effective and prompt functioning of its systems. However, for some time now, the hospital has faced challenges with faulty lifts, hindering its ability to offer healthcare services to patients to the fullest extent. The situation has recurred, this time at the surgical block, forcing management to focus on emergency surgeries for now. A visit to the facility revealed that the elevators were faulty.
We are already undergoing the procurement process to acquire new lifts, but the new lift, the delivery time is about 6 months. We are trying to get this sped up as much as possible, but in the meantime, we have brought in some experts to look at the old functioning lift, to rehabilitate it or to service it whilst we wait for the new one to replace it. So because of that, we redirected the emergencies to another theatre where they don't have to use a lift.
The CEO of the hospital, Dr. Opokuwari Ampoma, is confident that surgeries will fully resume within a week.
Because we have had to do this rearrangement, what we've done is also to defer some of the cold cases. But we expect that within this week, all this will be sorted out so that normal service will resume.
It remains to be seen if the timeline given for the repairs will be met, but the situation calls for long-term solutions to prevent such disruptions in the future. Sarah Apenkro, TV3 News, Kolebu.
Our lenses are definitely in Kolebu, and we will bring you updates subsequently. President Akufo-Addo has called for an ECOWAS standby force to fight against terrorism within the SAP region. Speaking at the second International Defense Exhibition and Conference, IDEC 2024, the president said the establishment of the standby force will help prevent coups, piracy and terrorism in the SAP region.
The president said no single country can tackle threats such as terrorism and violent extremism, to organized crime, maritime piracy and cyber threats all alone. The president called for collaboration and intelligence sharing to help combat crime in the region.
Constituting the ECOWAS standby force. At the last summit, the ECOWAS authority agreed to bring the ECOWAS standby force into being as soon as possible. I have no doubt that had it been in existence earlier, it would have served as a deterrent to the multiplicity of coups and the spread of terrorism. The establishment of this force is essential for maintaining regional stability and security. It will enable ECOWAS to respond swiftly and effectively to threats, uphold democratic governance, and promote peace across West Africa.
He advised all African nations to strengthen their regional security mechanisms and enhance collaboration efforts.
We should invest in building the capacity of our security forces to undertake peacekeeping and counterterrorism operations. This includes providing training, equipment, and logistical support to our troops. Our security forces should be well prepared to operate in complex environments.
The Chief of the Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Thomas Opon-Pepra, assured of the military's full commitment in safeguarding the security of the country.
Artificial intelligence and advanced guidance technology are changing the face of warfare across the world. IDEC 2024 provides an unparalleled stage for technological solutions and unmatched ideas which are indispensable for the defense of our respective countries.
The gathering brought together key stakeholders from across Africa and beyond to discuss and find solutions to the contemporary security challenges that confront the region and beyond. The second International Defense Exhibition and Conference, IDEC 2024, is expected to end Thursday, August 29. Joseph Armstrong, Gold Alibu TV3, Accra.
Well, that's how we end the morning news here on TV3. My name is Godwin Asideba. But do remember the grand launch of your Election Command Center is happening. So do set your alarms ready because we are going to be unveiling our top-notch, well-experienced journalists who will be taking you through this election season. And it is something that really matters a lot to you. Do remember it is going to be streaming across all our social media platforms as well, on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, and also on YouTube as TV3 Ghana. See you soon and have a good morning. Bye-bye.